Hello. Let me turn this off before I have a dead battery. I'm actually at the car. I am Andrea Runnels. I'm a 5th grade teacher in Metro Atlanta, Georgia, and a blogger and a TPTer at Running Things with Runnels. And I, at the beginning, I had it on this dish I made because we had this Unity luncheon today as a really nice culminating event for, what do you call it? For Black History Month. And I don't really cook anymore because I usually eat healthy, and so I'm just proud of myself. I assembled something. This I didn't even bake. I used to bake, like I took cake decorating courses and I could make I did like one wedding cake, but I just don't have time for that anymore. And so I was so proud of myself, and I'm going to put a picture of this on Instagram that I actually cooked something, so I can show that real quick because I'm proud. Parent conferences and I baked something. Or, I mean, I didn't bake. I cooked. It was a fruit salad. It was really easy. So I'm proud of it. But enough about that. So I just wanted to have minutes where my husband says, you don't ever cook? Well, there's something. I did assemble something. But anyways, so we had parent conferences this week. And some things were great. And one thing I found out about today, it broke my heart. I literally, was in tears on the playground. It wouldn't be the first time, probably. Maybe back in the elementary school over boy drama. But, my conferences for my homeroom, they were great. They were great. I, kept it real with some of the parents about the kids who weren't turning in their work. And I framed it in the way that I wouldn't be so frustrated with you if, I didn't believe in you and think you could do better. And those all went well. And one comment that made me so happy, so happy. We have translators at our school that will translate conferences if we need it, which I really don't need it, but it's one because I speak enough Spanish to communicate, because most of our parents that don't speak English speak Spanish. We do have other countries too, but it's mostly Hispanic. And I had one conference the other day, and this is a boy who has worked so hard, so hard. He has only been in America a year, and last year he didn't even take all the standardized tests because he was a level 1, and he has worked so hard, and he has a B in social studies and without modifications, and he is over the moon, so proud of himself, and he is trying so hard, and I am so proud of him because earlier in the year Dad was didn't understand that it was a language issue that was holding him back a little bit, and that's why he wasn't getting his work done. And he, the parents have been working with him. He's been going to after school program at our school, and I just, I cannot have enough happy things to say about him at conferences. And you could tell, his mom was so happy, and that just really, made her feel good. And that really made my little boy in my class feel good too. He gave me a hug today, and I'm not a hugger, and they know that. And, occasionally, if someone's upset, I will give them a hug, maybe, a side hug. But, that's when he gave me a hug, and he was like, bye, Miss Reynolds. I'm like, oh, because I'm just really proud of him. He's really come a long way. And I think if I wouldn't have stayed so positive with him and encouraged him, instead of getting mad at him for not turning in his work, then that wouldn't have happened. But anyways, he told me, he said, Miss Reynolds, right after our conference, my mom called my dad, and my dad was so happy he cried. And so proud of me, he cried. And I was just, oh, that just made my week. That just made my week, because of course, you're not going to hear about men crying very often, but that's just so, that's just so heartwarming that, I'm so stressed out and exhausted this week, but I'm still making a difference with at least this one child, and hopefully more than that. Because I did have a lot of comments from parents about how grateful they are and how much their child likes me, which really made me happy. And then my other little friend, I've talked about him before, my one that's little ADHDer, and he's a little itty bitty thing, and he's the one that I printed the calendars for him because I suggested, I was like, my son forgets his medicine sometimes, so I gave him a calendar, and I was like, I forget mine sometime when I'm a grown up, so we thought he was moving because he was withdrawn from the grade book, and then he came back. And so people were like kind of, it was kind of a little bit, it was a relief that he was going to be gone because he's kind of a handful sometimes. But I was upset because they didn't even tell him, and we didn't even get to say goodbye. But then he ends up back. And so hopefully he's back to stay. But apparently, I hope I don't get upset talking about this now, because and I've said this before, I have a really special place in my heart for him because I can relate to his struggle, and I can relate to how, people just don't get it. And even his family, my family wasn't my family is very supportive, but bless his heart, okay? He's in a step family situation, and I actually, it's a dad, his dad is married to a mom of some other kids that go to the school, and I had the mom's other son last year, and she was a great parent, really involved and very positive, and this stepson, he is basically the rotten redheaded stepchild. He really, it's just heartbreaking. It just really is. He's just truly not taken care of, and they just don't understand how to handle him. And he keeps, sometimes he'll tell me he didn't take his medicine, and I don't know, he's or it's upsetting his stomach, and that's just not adding up, because that kind of medicine does not give you an upset stomach. So I just am always worried about him. But apparently at his conference, and all the kids, there's 5 kids all together between the two parents, and in front of the other kids, this really bothers me. They were berating him, and this was my friend, his homeroom teacher, that was telling me about it. And the dad was talking about how the only way that how he hits him with a belt so that he'll behave, and he says that, in front of the other kids, and how come you can't behave like this other kid who's in the mom's son who's in 5th grade now, and that I had the brother of last year. And it's just so he was just so upset today, and people just don't get, if you have a kid like that, that's where I was putting sunglasses, because that just really bothered me, and as a mom, and how can you treat your child like that? I don't understand it. And, he's a little itty bitty thing, like I said, and he was just standing on the fence at recess today. He didn't even want to play. He was so upset all day today. And I just told him, I was like, come over here. And, his homeroom teacher and I talked to him, and I just told him, and I literally cried in front of him, because I just told him, I was like, I just want you to know that the other teacher and I said, we care about you, and, don't let your family hold you back, because it's really sad when it's your family thinking that you can't succeed. Yeah, that's just, wow. I had to oh my God. Wow. That's just, and I was just that just broke my heart, and I just wanted him to know that, we believe in him, and I don't know if it made a difference, but, I literally, I'm sure he can see it. I mean, I'm an emotional person. I was going to put my title, Guess What Made Me Cry Today, but that could be every day, probably. But it just really, it's so important if you have a child like that. Yeah, I was glad it was Friday, and I was so freaking tired, but I just needed to take a minute to just reassure him that no matter what, there are people that care about him, and, want him to succeed, because the suicide rate and the, substance abuse rate for, kids with ADHD is so high. It is so high, and there's so many risk factors, and if you don't even have your family supporting you, it's just not right. And how can you just make, and the teacher was even saying to the parents, he's trying harder, and they just didn't want to hear it because of his grades. And I told him, we had a conversation one day, and he was like, my mom already told me that, or he's talking about the stepmom, that I am going to have to repeat 5th grade no matter what. And I said, that's not true. I said, if your parent can't ask that you be held back if you pass the test at the end of the year. And he just has no self-confidence now, because Why would you tell a kid that? Like, you're getting retained no matter what. You're standing back in 5th grade. You know, I threaten that with my kids in my class. I'm like, well, I won't say, like, you're staying. I'll say, you know, if you guys don't straighten up, whatever, you're going to be held back. Or, well, I'll say you're going to have to go to summer school. But you don't say you're going to be in 5th grade no matter what. So that little boy, you know, he's a 10-year-old. His self-esteem is shattered. And I just, like, how can you say you're just going to beat him because that's the only way he will listen? He can't help it. He can't help it. He can't help being hyperactive. And it's just, I don't know why the homeroom teacher hasn't gone to, like, she's talked to the counselor about the situation before, but I almost feel like before I leave this school year, I feel like I might call the Child Protective Services myself and just on the way out the door, because we're supposed, like, in Georgia, mandated reporters, we're supposed to go to, you know, our counselor, and our counselor or AP is supposed to make the call, but sometimes they don't, and so it'll just take me over. You don't say that you're going to beat your child with a belt. I mean, it's not the 80s, okay? That was okay in the 80s. It's not anymore. I mean, I believe in spanking, but I don't believe in beating, and I don't believe in spanking a child that has ADHD that just, maybe you're not giving him medicine and you're treating him like he's worthless because he's not your own child, you know? And I, like I said, I have a stepson, and actually my husband went to go get him now. So I'm going to be exhausted probably from but I treat him like he's my own child. And my husband does the same for my kids. It's like, I don't know. And that was just my point. It's just like, I'm just heartbroken, and just, you know, those kids that need the extra love, just take some time just to reassure them that someone does care about them. You know, maybe you think that they know, and they probably do know, but that positivity, even 5 minutes of positivity he got from me today is just, that's not going to make up for how his family is treating him, but hopefully in the back of his mind that he'll think that, you know, Miss Runnels believes in him, and I hope that he does. But, enough about that, because I'm trying to pull myself together. So I have my sunglasses on. I'm actually going to be on the Chantel and Bree's Teacher Mom episode tonight, talking about, like, finding balance with step families and stuff like that. Their Blab show, which I'm really honored to be a part of. So I've got to, like, pep myself up because I'm so tired. But anyways, those people that are in the southern region, and you don't have to be a TPT seller, you don't have to be a TPT blogger. I was listening to the replay of Sunday Night Live yesterday when I had a break between conferences, and Amy Harris was talking about, Brandon and Tania, Teach Me Tea and Teaching Smiles, like, we were talking about we should have an Atlanta meetup, and we keep saying that, you know, we should. Well, I call it a temporary moment of insanity, of past conference insanity, that I just decided, I was like, you know what, let's just turn this we should into let's do. And I just put something out there that I just got the ball rolling, and Rachel Vincent and I from A Tall Drink of Water, we've gotten to know each other really well through Teacher Entrepreneur School, and we decided we're going to be, like, the official hosts, because if you have too many people in charge of something, then it just turns into a mess. So we decided we're going to be the official, like, people, like, in charge of it, but we're definitely going to be delegating out tasks, and we're definitely open to suggestions, because all I've done so far is create a Facebook group to get the ball rolling, and I posted on Instagram about it, and I put the link to the Facebook group in the comments. So yeah, that is kind of far, I know. I wish y'all were close. Some people were closer, because, like I said, Atlanta just works best, and I'm just being selfish, and I'm just lucky that I live 30 minutes outside of Atlanta, which it's even far for me to get to Atlanta. So that's the plan. Rachel's in Charleston, South Carolina, but there have been a lot of awesome people that have already said they're interested, so now I'm like, oh Lord. So I put the idea out there, and that's why I'm being kind of a bossy pants. I'm like, okay, Rachel and I are going to be in charge of it, and I'm not going to have other people say they're going to help and then bail out, and because if you want something done right, so you got to do it yourself. The kind of person that I had a group project for my gift endorsement class, and I said, just send me your info, and I did the whole thing, and because it was amazing, because what they sent me, they copied from the internet, and I knew that's what they would have done. So like I said, we don't even have a date thrown out there yet. I think I would want to do it like maybe spring break. I mean, I know our spring break is April, because end of the year testing craziness, and I wanted thinking like something low key, casual, not something epic like the whole San Fran thing, because I've never even been to a meetup, never even been to one, never even been like invited to one. So I love planning stuff. I have a lot of great ideas. I'm a visionary idea person, so I'm all about that. I'm terrible with details, and Rachel's good with that. And don't really know exactly where, but I've heard some of the other local meetups have been like in really crowded places. So we definitely want to have something where people can get together and just have fun. It's not going to be like a weekend, because I don't know about y'all, but I am saving up for TPT conference, and I want to have like traveling money to get there. And I am also going to present at a conference with not present, but be a vendor at a conference with Michelle Luck in March. And so, like, I don't want to be paying like hundreds of dollars to attend some fancy thing, which is not me. So I said, we're calling it tailgating for the TPT conference. Check out the group, the link to it's bit.ly, and then just capital letters ATL meetup. And you don't have to be a TPT seller. A lot of the people are going to be, but I'd love people that are Teach Happy members who might not be a TPT seller are welcome to come. Now, random weirdos, no. But I just thought that we should just do something and just not over plan and do something too formal. Because we're all about casual in the South, and if we can wear flip-flops, even better. In April, right? So check that out if you're interested. And if you have any questions, the name of the group is Sensational Southern Soiree Atlanta Meetup, because I'm all about the alliteration. So you can find that on Facebook through the link. And if you can't find it, check. I posted something about it on Instagram and all over the place. I have my Instagram automatically feed to Twitter through that IFT. So you can find it there. I'm running things with Runnels on Instagram. I'm Andrea Runnels in real life on Facebook. So if you can't find me, you can reach out to me. Even the link to my blog is in my Periscope profile, so you can find it there. But I would love to have people come so we can put some faces together before the TPT conference, because I'm all like guts and glory on online on Periscope and stuff, but in person I'm quieter, especially with people I don't know. So I'm not going to be one of those people like hugging everyone and asking for selfies at the TPT conference, like fangirling, going crazy. Now, Jennifer Finley is interested in the TPT in the Atlanta meetup, so I am kind of fangirling, freaking out about that, but I did tell her I'm not going to be weird. She's like my number one icon on TPT, and besides Michelle Luck, but Michelle told her I'm not allowed to call her an icon anymore. I have to call her my friend, because we got to meet in this fall. But anyways, I'm really excited about that. Like, Kristen from One Stop Teacher Shop is interested, Jessica Ivy from Ideas by Jivey, and it's like, whoa, once all those people said they were interested, things started getting real. And Amy Harris is coming down from North Carolina, so and there are a lot of great people like in the Carolinas, so spread the word. In Tennessee, in Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, but Florida's kind of far, but if you can get there, if you have ideas, suggestions, places, please let me know, because I'm open to suggestions. So we can have it at Stone Mountain for all I care, because that's 10 minutes away from me. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys tonight on the Blab Show with Chantel and Bree, and I will see you guys tomorrow on TPT Life. I know there's a huge, like, awesome Blab with Sheila Jane and Whimsical Teacher and Caitlin and Kelly Elena, and I'm confused by the time because I keep hearing conflicting things. So I'm going to do TPT Life working around that, because if that's at 3 Eastern, I'm not going to do my TPT Life show then, because I want to watch it. But I'm going to talk about clip art tomorrow, because I had someone ask me about finding clip art last week. And I think blab show, social studies blab show, I'm going to do every 2 weeks because there's so much going on right now. So next week, I'm going to talk about close reading and social studies. So March 6th, I'm also hosting the TPT chat that day. So I have a lot going on, but, exciting things that I'm going to focus on that and not worry about my little friend all weekend. But thank you for watching, and, I appreciate it. And, pardon my little breakdown in the middle. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.